Innovation, security, programming, technology, development.
Let's begin.
DevSecOps, your cybersecurity and technology podcast.
Hello everyone, it's a pleasure to be back for the 5th season of DevSecOps podcast. I'm Cássio Pereira.
I'm Marco Santos.
I was missing so much this audience because, this podcast just exists because of the audience, because people are listening and asking for this kind of content. So it's really a pleasure to be here for the fifth season, which means we are here 5 years already, Marcos. Can you believe that?
Oh, I don't believe. 5 years. Oh my God.
Were you missing me?
No. I don't miss you.
To be honest, yeah.
Rodrigo and Gabriel don't go back.
But I'm missing Ben-Yur because he's a nice guy.
Ben-Yur is very good.
Yeah,
I like it too much.
Apart from you and the guests, he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
No,
Let's continue, please.
I'm kidding. We have a very nice guest today that I will introduce in a moment. But before, I need to mention that the DevSecOps podcast has the full support from Nova 8 and Checkmarks, which are specialized in application security. So if you need, get in touch with them, talk to nova8.com, and you will find a lot of interesting information about Checkmarks and other solutions as well. If you're looking for, let's say, application security consultant, so you can talk to the Gold Security Fellows. Also, if you are interested in other kind of divisions of application security, you can also talk to the guys from Digital Woke. They are all there to help you achieve your goals or your, let's say, address your problems on application security area, either in the Brazilian supermarket and in Brazilian market, also some Europe market as well. So here, today, guys, we're going to be talking about application security versus kind of developer experience, because we know that has this fight, I would say, between developers, security, DevOps, manager, and everybody. Developers like to fight with everybody. That's the truth. When I was developer, at least I was doing like this. But to talk about this very deep and special topic, I have a special guest here, which is a pleasure to have her here. It was hard to schedule and so on. She's a very busy woman, dedicated to the market as well. So Raz, thank you for joining us. Please feel free to introduce yourself, then we start the discussion. Yeah?
So hi, thank you so much for having me, Cássio. Hi, I'm Raz. I'm a solution engineer at JIT. Almost a year and a half at the company. Before that, I was a full stack engineer at JIT as well. So I decided to kind of shift and mix things up a little bit. Yeah, I have a wide background, both like in engineering and cybersecurity from both the offensive and defensive side. And on my spare time, I like to talk at community events like OWASP, like the AWS community, open source experience, the open source summit, you name it. And that's it. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Again, thank you for your time. It's a pleasure to have you here, like a lot of other guests that we have over these 5 years on the DevSecOps podcast. But you are becoming more international. So after 4th season, I'd say, and when I moved to the Europe, so we bring more English content because mostly was a Brazilian market, so everything in Portuguese. People maybe will not understand everything, especially Marcos, because he doesn't even know how to speak in Portuguese. So, Marcos?
I didn't speak Portuguese. Even in English. This is terrible.
But let's see. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about application security and developer experience. And I would start with a first question, maybe to our guest, maybe Marcos, you can answer as well, which is one very important thing. Do you both, but maybe I'll start with Raz, our guest, you also believe that we have, because it's my belief, right? You also believe that you have this fight, I use this word, but let's say this, they treat as enemies, the security team and developer teams. Do you have this feeling as well as your experience? So you think, no, I'm wrong. This is the opposite. They are all friends. They love each other.
So no, I completely agree. I think that there is a big friction, right, between the security team and the engineering team, because it seems like they have separate goals. And they're interfering with each other on getting to their goals. So the security team wants to secure your product, right? They want to make sure that we're developing a secured code, that our cloud is secured as well. But the engineering team is mostly focused on delivering as fast as possible, right? they don't want anyone or anything to stop them or to slow them down. And it seems like the goals are clashing. And quite frankly, the tools that the industry has been using until now, they're not contributing to solving this friction. They're actually like strengthening, right, the fight. So yeah, I completely agree with you. It's out there.
Cool. Marcus, you have been fighting with some developers as well?
I hate developers. No, it's a joke. But I agree with your position. Normally, developers and say, security guys is not a very good relationship. Normally, the guys from developers don't like the security requirements, don't like program with a good security code. It's terrible.
Okay, I
It's
agree.
not good.
I agree. I would say that I've been feeling this the same. And Raz just mentioned a friction, yeah, between these two teams, and you also believe that there is a friction in the process. So, for example, I'm coding and I need to finish this feature, this whatever, this bug fix today, but then there's a code scan that bring me a vulnerability. So with that, you think that's a problem of the security itself. It's a problem of the tools itself. Where is the problem? Because I agree that there is this friction, but it's the same as you are living your life. I think I talked about this in the previous episode. You're living your life, and then one day you wake up and you have a pain somewhere in your body. You have a pain, and you were planning to go to the beach or whatever, shopping mall, doesn't matter. But with this pain, you can't. So you go to the doctor, you need to check, you do some exams, and you realize that you have a problem and you need to fix. It's normal, yeah, it happens in life. And you don't, even if you're going to be upset about that, because nobody wants to be sick or have a big problems, but developers, they seem to be upset with this. Oh, there is a code scan and I have a vulnerability now that I need to fix, which means I will not go to the beach today or I will not finish this feature today. So how do you see this friction? How can we improve their lives, or what can we do?
So I think that the friction is not because security is something that developers don't want to do. It's not like they don't want to write a secured code. It's just that the current process that most companies are leveraging, and the current tools, this what causes the friction. It's interfering with their day-to-day tasks because the developers needs to go to a third-party UI. They need to switch context. It's not in their natural environment. And this makes like the security team the bottleneck, right? They're the bad guy who's saying, no, you cannot deploy, no, you cannot merge. And this is what causes the friction there, because developers, if we'll provide them with the right tool, with the right developer experience, they have no problems with writing secured code. Why not, right? Because the same as QA, if we are comparing it. QA used to be like a separate process, right? It used to be like a different team that did the review. And now everything is shift left. The developers are doing their own QA, right? They're doing the CR process, they're reviewing each other PRs. The same needs to be done for security. It does not need to be like a separate process, like the bottleneck. It does not need to change what they're doing right now and taking them out of context and sending them to Google to search a CVE and how to handle it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Marcus, you have a different opinion on that or not?
I agree too much with Raz with the points, but for me, I think is 2 points is most important for these the friction with developers and security things is the culture of in defensive program. I think is not explored very well inside the enterprise, inside the companies, and training. I think the developers don't have sufficient training to program safe.
Enough training to do
Yes.
this defensive coding, for example.
Perfect. I think if we adjust just 2 points, we have less friction with the two things. But if you don't fix this, is the probably we have more and more friction if inside the teams and about the discussions, about the points, the problems. I think these 2 points is most important.
Okay.
I agree with that. And I also think that the training part is also a pain point for the companies because you don't necessarily have enough budget to go and take all the developers to security class, right? Go learn what you need to do. So this is like a big gap that we need to fill in, and not all companies have like the ability to actually do that. And if I'm comparing it to what we're doing, for example, at JIT, we don't want the developers to go to a class and learn about security. We want to make them security experts without the company having to spend the time and money on training the developers, because the training can happen over time, right? If we're providing enough information on the detected vulnerabilities, if we're explaining what happens, and this is what we're doing, we're leaving a comment in the PR, keeping them in context, only the changes, and the comment is very easy to understand. We're describing the problem. The developers learn from that. They probably won't do it again next time they're coding. So you see the learning curve. There is a training on the fly, right, on the going, and you're making them a security expert without wasting the company resources. You may say.
I fully agree with this point. I would just add maybe more how do you say, more wood to this fireplace, yeah? Because for example, I don't need to go to a doctor and have a problem to realize that I need to eat healthy or go to the gym or whatever. And what you said, it's like, okay, I will get vulnerabilities. The solutions are going to bring me enough details for that, which is perfect. So I will learn from this, fix this problem that I have now, and probably will not do it again. I think this is perfect. But then you are depending on the problem to be there, right? Instead of like what I think that Marcos said is something like, okay, let's know what is, for example, OWASP top 10. Oh, this is the top 10 vulnerabilities. You might not have ever seen them on your code itself, but you know in theory at least how it happens, how it's to be there, and so on. I just put this point because I think there's these 2 points. As you said, on JIT, you are providing a lot of feedback. I had the opportunity to test the solution. I think I will come back to develop code just to use this kind of tools again. But the point is, there is this kind of training, like you learn by your doing and some mistakes, I would say. And also the preventive training, or something like you don't need to have a vulnerability to fix it, but you need to know how it happens. It's more or less what red teams are doing. Yeah, they're finding some problems, attacking, and then provide some specific reports. Okay, you should do something like this or something like that in the code, even though the exploitation itself might not happen through the application, but through some other places or whatever. But okay, just to close this topic, I wanted to bring another thing. Don't you think, guys, that might have overload on the developer side? Because as Raz pointed very well, and I agree, developers are responsible for the code. They are creating that code. But what if now they have to deal with Q&A? Now they need to deal with unit tests. They need to deal with full stack, front end, back end, database. Now security is one more thing. Don't you think that they will be overloaded?
Yes, this is what happened right now, right in the industry. This is what we're hearing. The developers are overwhelmed. They don't want to deal with it because they have too much to handle. So we need to have like a lot of stuff during our process to make sure we're not just flooding them with vulnerabilities. So we need to make sure that if we're scanning the PR, for example, we're only commenting on the changes, right? I don't want to be triggered. I don't want to know that I have vulnerabilities in the legacy code or something that someone else wrote. Right now, I'm working on a feature. I have a PR. Just tell me what's wrong with my PR right now. Okay? Mm-hmm. The other thing is introducing context. We want to add context to the vulnerabilities. It's not just saying, okay, I have a higher critical vulnerabilities, because, for example, JIT only alerts on high and critical. But we found out that you need to add a bit more information on top of that to make sure that you get the developers to only handle what's really, really, really is exploitable and threatening your code, your product. This is what's important, right? Mm-hmm. If a vulnerability is like in a publicly exposed repository, it's going to be high priority, not like compared to a vulnerability that it's not publicly exposed and not in a public repository. Mm-hmm. So we need to add that to the developers to also reduce the noise, because what happens right now is they're using tools that are just flooding them with vulnerabilities on any location in the repo, and low and info and medium. It has no context at all. So they don't want to do it. So we really, really focused on building a context engine. And this is like the new thing that we've added, to add to the vulnerabilities the context that needed in order to prioritize correctly and reduce the headache for the developers and help them adopt the tools.
Cool. Marcus, do you know that also this context, bringing context to the vulnerability is also important? Because, as I said in previous episodes, you go to the doctor and you have 10 different problems. One of them can kill you. But as a human, you want to know that all the problems that you have in order to try to fix them. Yeah? You know, like you can have a heart attack next month if you don't stop eating bacon. But you are drinking too much also, so your liver might have a problem in a few years. So even it's a medium vulnerability, we still want to know because tomorrow can be a high vulnerability. Yeah, and I agree definitely with this context, reducing noise, and this kind of things. But I also it's hard to agree with two things. But I also agree that somehow we should inform, maybe not the developers. Maybe it's a discussion here. Like maybe not the developers. Like okay, you have 1,000 vulnerabilities. No, in your API you have one that I need to fix. But in the application for the PO, for the CEO, whatever. Like guys, you have big problems here. No, they are not priority now, but they are there, and somehow you need to handle. Marcos, how do you see this? You agree with me? You disagree? You want to be fired from this DevSecOps podcast? Tell me now.
Let's put fire here. I agree with the position because in the future, these medium vulnerabilities probably is taken a high vulnerability, and you have a problem in the future. Most probably, or or if not a high, probably critical or other things. But I think depends on the process when you have to fix these vulnerabilities in the time. Because okay, we have a critical and high to fix at this moment, and you have the middle and low to put in the backlog. And okay, and how many times my backlog needs to stay quiet, and how many times I need to fix this vulnerability. If you have a good time for months or weeks to fix, that's okay. For if you have years to fix, it's not good. Probably you have a lot of problems, and probably your enterprise receive a lot of problems with hackers and other things, and it's not a good, and your reputation and your money, and you solve a lot of resources to fix this. And
Okay.
depends on the process. For me, it's more in the process than the vulnerability. CC.
Okay, I got it. So vulnerability management would
Yeah.
be the perfect thing, like to address this thing. And I love JIT because of this, because you have okay, your PR has these problems, you focus on this. But doesn't mean that your application or full app or full app has other problems that you should look into it after. Maybe not now, but after. And this JIT, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it brings by default. Yeah, like as soon as you enable it, it will start scanning not the whole application, but PRs and so on and so forth. That's good. I have one other point that
Actually scans all of the code base
go
and
on,
cloud
go on.
accounts once
Yeah.
you onboard. So when you select your scans, if you want SaaS, you want CA, you want infrastructure as code, for example, it's automatically scanning everything that you have, takes the vulnerability that already exists, right? This backlog that Marcus talked about, and creates for you a unified backlog to manage all of the tools. So you don't have to manage like 12 different dashboards in the
Oh no, Gord,
Oh my
please.
Yeah, so instead of doing that, you have one backlog, and simultaneously, it happens like on the same time. We're helping you with the PRs, so don't introduce new vulnerabilities to the backlog. But the other stream is help you fix and clean the backlog, because as Marcus mentioned, yes, it's gonna become a problem someday, and we need to fix this at some point, and we want to help you do that as well. So it's important to work in both work streams.
Awesome.
And it's a good point because in Brazil we have a problem when a lot of enterprise make the create scans and put the vulnerabilities in the vulnerability management, but never fix because it's only for
Yeah.
compliance.
You have
It's a big
backlog,
problem.
a huge
Yeah.
backlog that is just there. Nobody cares. That's all.
Yes,
Yeah, it's
and
interesting.
never put a threshold, never put a stop a pipeline because of this. Okay, I have a lot of vulnerabilities, but only for compliance. Thank you.
Go.
Segurança. Tecnologia. DevSecOps.
One other, I think, important topic that we should bring to this discussion is how we could balance, for example, because one thing is development teams, and another thing is security teams. let's say, AppSec teams, because usually companies has the security guys, network security, access management, a lot of people, but application security is one or two maximum, as I saw. And how do we balance this? Is it possible? Because there is this, how to say, statistics or something like this about like you have one AppSec for 150 developers, 200 developers, something like that, and developers, they are like gremlins. You know this movies from the past, gremlins? They are multiplied by water. You put water on their back and they multiply. So developers are like this. And application security is the opposite. Like the more water you drink, the more you vanish. It's something like that. So how we have this balance? How, I mean, Raz, up to you. How we fix this?
So yes, it happens, and then like the security team feels attacked, and then the engineering feel like they have power over the security team because they're more than them. So I think that like shifting left and moving the responsibility from like solely the security team to the developers would help kind of balance and level the playing field, because this is what we need to do. We need to make sure that the security team is not the only team in the company who is in charge of security. The developers should take responsibility for the code they're writing, just like they want to introduce a bug to production. They should care about introducing vulnerability. And the security team needs to handle what they should handle, which is managing the backlog, which is getting you to your compliance needs. Like this is the company's business outcome that is relevant for them. And the development team needs to handle security also on their own.
Cool. I agree also. I see a lot of AppSec people struggling with development things. Like, okay, we might contribute for that, but it's not our own job to set up the security scans. I mean, install and integrate and everything. It's like DevOps activity and developers, because it's their process itself. Application security should be focused, okay, what we're going to scan, what we need to be compliant, is the scans performing well, not performing well, false positive, this kind of things. And of course, helping, okay, I don't know how to fix this SQL injection here, help me. Okay, to fix a SQL injection, apart from the details that solutions provide to us, we should know that to help the developers as well, but not struggle with the activity itself. Yeah? It's like DevOps activities or CI/CD activities, whatever. Each company has different names nowadays, but you got the point, right? Marcos, you see also
Yeah.
like this, or how you?
No, I completely agree with Raz. Completely.
Nothing to add.
Not in this point, nothing.
Perfect. Because sometimes I feel also there is a feeling of competition, like developers and security, and it's we are talking about, let's say, developer experience. And as you said, I think Raz mentioned in the beginning, I'm here with my Visual Studio open, coding. I want to Control Shift B and compile my application and run my application. It's done. I don't want to go to Jira. I don't want to go to Excel, or leave me on my place, or it's Visual Studio IDE or the repository. That maximum, two things, and the browser to Stack Overflow or something like that. And this kind of competition is because, okay, now a developer, security team is coming to a report, a PDF from the pen testing, that I need to open this PDF and check whatever is there. And how do you see this, Raz, this problem of competition feeling? I think Marcos touched that, like culture is one point on top of that. Do you see the same, like people should be more trained, I don't know, well educated about this? How you see this competition?
Yeah, I agree. It feels like the developers don't know what to do. They don't want to go to a PDF or Excel, and like seems like the security team are chasing them. Please help me do that. Please help me fix the vulnerability. I have to be covered on the OSPSVS because a customer asked for that. So it's like they're begging and they're winning because they don't do it. So I think that if we'll provide the developers with the right experience on their natural environments, which is, as you've mentioned, the IDE, like stay in the VS Code, stay in GitHub, in your PR. If we'll provide them with the ideal experience, that will probably resolve the competition and make the security team to be the good guy, not the bad guy. And we also need to help the security team because, as you've mentioned, they have a lot to implement, right? But there as well, they have a lot like to handle, and it's hard to implement a security program, right? Because they have to handle like spreadsheets as well, not just the developers with the CVs. They have to manage spreadsheets. They get like security requirements, and this security program is completely managed in a spreadsheet. And we want to help them automate this as well because they cannot maintain it. So they are overwhelmed as well. So we need to find the right tool, the right balance between helping the developers and also helping the security team and making sure everyone is happy. This way we'll create like a better work balance, better work culture. And we need to train the developers as well, help the security team train the developers. They should not be like the teacher in school, right? Coming in and yelling at them, you did this and that. We need to come from a positive place. We need to help them train the developers in the most fun and exciting way possible.
DevSecOps. DevSecOps.
I wish I have a sound effect here for this fairy tales. Everybody happy. She was it was amazing this sentence now. Like everybody happy. Don't yell at them. But I agree also. It's just Marcos. You in your experience as pre-sales guy.
Yeah.
What you get from the customers. They are okay. I want this kind of solution. I need to start scanning my code and so on and so forth. But I know that they also beg for this. Okay, help my teams because developers don't want to fix, and we need to fix. How is that? You want to bring something to this point as well?
Yes, I totally agree with you when Raz says, because if you have a solution with a good points in the IDE, if it help you to fix vulnerabilities in the IDE or in other place when the developer is more comfortable, I think it's better for you introduce and reduce these problems inside the company with the security things. But you need to train the developers. You need to put more challengers, put internally bug bound. I think it's a good point for you training. Gamification, for example. I think okay, the idea is a good point, and you stay your developer comfortable and in the right place, but you need to put these little challengers to the developer. Okay, I need to conscientization. I need to put awareness inside the head, and okay, I need to think now how to I code with security, how I code secure inside the company, and how I stay this being enterprise more secure with my codes and with my job. I think it's more about these points.
Okay, make sure that what I'm doing is not bringing risks, for example, or something like this.
I love the gamification that you've mentioned, I have to say, because developers love to compete with each other. So we need to help them compete on the stuff that help us, right? That is beneficial for us. Let's be a little bit only thinking about ourselves for a second, and let's leverage the fact that they're competitive. So, for example, if you'll be able to get the development teams, to compete with each other on who has the cleanest and most secured repositories, who is the most secure team, the developers would also like to help you not just fix the stuff as part of the PR, but also clean the backlog. So, for example, we have like a leaderboard in the platform. So we help you see for each team what are the related repositories for the team, give a security score based on the existing vulnerabilities, and we show you the leaderboards on who is the most secure team, the top 4 teams, for example. Then you can create a process in the company. Say each 2 weeks, let's do like a competition. Let's show the entire dev organization who are the top 4 teams. They want to help you after that. They want to be on the leaderboard. They want to show the entire company like I'm the best. And they will help you fix vulnerabilities. They want to be the security champion. They want to handle the security debt each iteration because it's gonna be beneficial for them eventually.
I don't know if it's around the world, but in Brazilian McDonald's, we have employee of the month. So you have the picture of the employee of the month on the wall of each store. I don't know if it's around the world. I never realized outside here, but in Brazil it's like this. So I think it's gamification brings this power. Like, okay, this team is super secure. On the other hand, this team is bringing more vulnerabilities, or the code base has a lot of problems they're not fixing. It's also part of exposing somehow You can control that somehow inside the company. And one company that I worked is the biggest tourism company in Latin America. I will not mention the name because we have a lot of problems in the past. But still, I was trying to do a gamification there when in the end of the year, the more secure team, let's say, who are fixing more or introducing less vulnerabilities, we will get a package for traveling, like flight tickets, hotel, anywhere where they wanted. Especially on, for example, as Brazilians destination like US or Central America, Caribbean, this kind of stuff. But I left the company, so no travel, still vulnerabilities. That's all.
I hope you got to win at least one time.
I was AppSec, so I could not win. I was I was designing the program itself. But okay, I think it's a good point here that we brought. But I would like to know how JIT, because Raz is from JIT. She was mentioning before. What if you can talk to us? Let's say people listening want to try JIT. Is it free? Do I need to pay? Can I have trial versions? They are wondering how they can have better experience as security people or developers. What and talk about some features. I would say interesting things. I know all of them because I was trying, but I'll let this for you.
Amazing. So yeah, first of all, check us out, jit.io. We have all the information. We have a product demo within the website, and you can contact us and we'll help you see all the benefits of JIT. And yes, of course, we have a trial period because you need to fall in love with the tool before you decide to move forward with it. And we believe you'll fall in love. So, like, give you the highlights of JIT. We are helping not just the developers, but also the security team. So, we're helping you implement an entire security program within minutes. So, it's across all the product layers. It's not just the AppSec tools. It's not just SaaS and SCA and secrets. It's the cloud, the infrastructure as code, the DAST as well, and the CI/CD security, which is something that you normally don't even start to consider. And we do this in a way that it's very business outcome driven because you want to be SOC 2 compliant, you want to be HIPAA compliant, you want to be OWASP SVS, for example. You need to maintain it, as we said, in spreadsheets. And with JIT, you get like an automated security program. All you have to do is a few clicks. And the main focus of JIT is to empower the developers to develop secure code, but faster. So our developer experience is top notch. And as a developer, I can say that I don't hate it. And this is like the best thing for a security tool because we live inside of GitHub. So the developers are writing the code, they're opening a PR, they'll get notified only on the delta, right? Only on the changes with logs that they can understand. We provide auto remediation for them so they don't have to go and find out on their own how to fix the vulnerability. We provide them one click, commit suggestion, and the vulnerability is fixed, pre-production. And for the security team, we also have auto remediation for the backlog. So they can fix what's going on in the backlog. And we have an IDE plugin. So when they're writing the code, they get notified about the vulnerabilities and they can fix that with auto remediation as well. So it's kind of enters security across the entire SDLC with no overhead and without to actually need to manage the different dashboards and the headache, because you get one unified experience with one platform. And of course, like the most, I think, exciting thing that I think you liked, Cassio, is the fact that we're open. So we're not developing our own tools. We're not purchasing them. We have the ability to orchestrate any tool out there, open source, commercial, cloud native, you name it, even homegrown tools. As long as you can wrap it around in a container, JIT can orchestrate it for you. So we're not locked into any vendor, and you can build your own security program based on your security stack without the overhead, without the learn how to configure and implement and manage and maintain. This is all done automatically for you using JIT. So I think that we really found the right balance between security teams and the developers because we really focused on both. With a big emphasis on the developers. I think that from my knowledge of the industry, our developers experience is the only one that actually was built for developers. And I can say it because I hear the feedback. I know the other tools out there, and I really do encourage you just to try and give me your feedback. So you can contact me. Give me your feedback. I want to hear it.
Awesome. We are in the industry. We know a lot of different solutions and tools, and I can say that JIT is one of the most impressive to me. Yeah, coming from the past, other solutions. Let's not name them to don't create a competition here, but
Yeah.
coming from the past tools, it was a lot of problems with scans, long scans taking hours to scan a code and this kind of thing, and it's problematic because of what we said in this 35 minutes. Yeah, friction in the process, integration, competition, blah blah blah. Cool. So people, try JIT. I'll put the links on the description of this video, of this episode, as well. Of course, you will not find the link on Spotify or something, but you can go to the YouTube channel, then you'll find this the link. But it's jit.io, not so hard to find out.
DevSecOps.
Cool. We talked about how to bring these amazing things to developers and security teams. That's fine, but I have a specific question. Maybe I'll start from Marcos now. Then Raz can answer. Then I can put my point as well. Why do we need to implement security in the first place? Why do we need to put security at all? Why? Why, Marcos? Why you put security?
I don't know. For me, it's a good point. Why?
Let's
Why don't
put
put that out?
security.
Why you need to put in specific points? For me, we start the application with security.
Mhm.
Since the threat modeler until the vulnerability management, all the points need to put security. Why don't create the application and things in security together? It's not a requirement. It's an application thinking in security. I don't know why. It's a good point.
Must be security. That's all.
Yeah. We
Okay.
need security.
Fair enough. Raz?
So if we're looking at it from a business perspective, right? You want to add security because you want to be secured. This is nice, right? This is the security team most desired dream. I just want to be secured. But then you have business needs. You have a customer that is requesting you to be covered on the OWASP top 10, for example. You need to provide this. You need to make sure that you're covered for the OWASP top 10 if you want to sign this customer. If you are in specific industry and you have specific regulations that you need to pass, this is I think that the first starter to implement security. And this is exactly where you need to make sure that you have a security program that is built for your needs and that is aligned with the developers as well. It's business. Everything is business out there right now.
Okay, I would say that I had the two mindsets of you. I was just like Marcus. Shut up, put security. That's all. You block everything. If there's a vulnerability, you don't deploy. There's no discussion. Also, I was on this the mindset of Raz, for example. Yeah, business will drive. Okay, I have a bank. I have regulations. I can't escape from them, so I need to at least be compliant with that. Or I'm on the critical infrastructure side, so I need to protect my assets and my customers, something like this. I was there in these two words, but now I'm kind of transcending, if it's possible.
Oh my God.
I'm transcending to a different word of this, which is, yes, I agree with both, but I think it's business itself or companies, they should think about the impact that they bring to the society. So, for example, yes, you are a bank. You need to be compliant with some regulations. That's fine. But what happens if your bank is offline? People lose their money. You are I don't know, if you're in an airport, you need to travel, and you need to pay for something, and you can't pay because your bank is offline, or your account got hacked and you don't have money. I don't know. Or you are a big e-commerce, Amazon, or I don't know, Allegro here in Poland, or Mercado Livre in Brazil, for example, and you are offline. And you are at Christmas time. People are buying gifts for everybody. So your gift will be delayed. People will not get their gifts on time before Christmas. So, it's this mindset of, okay, what impact does my business bring to the society itself? Okay, I'm a car factory. And if my car fail because of a cyber attack, people's life is at risk. Or, I don't know, I'm a city, a power plant, whatever. So once you have this mindset, I would say, what damage do I bring to people that uses my product? Okay, I have an e-commerce. I don't want to be secure at all. I just want to sell. That's fine. But what happens if you are offline? It's not only you are losing money, but what damage you bring to your customers, your employees, your I don't know this word in English, but people who buy the shares of the company. these guys, holders. I think it's holders, whatever. So I think this is the mindset that should drive this secure decision. Not only business criticality, yes, also the Marcos mindset must be security, yes, but I would say that business also will say, yeah, we don't have money, we just want to sell. That's all. That's fine. It's your decision. But then, what damages can you bring to the society? So yeah, I'm meditating on this. I don't know if which side I am. I'm transcending, as I said.
Okay, but I don't know if you have a time to watch the new film in the Netflix. It's exactly about when you talk.
Which
The
movie?
word is the okay, but hacker group hacked the planet, and all the services around the world stopped. Tesla vehicles, networking, satellites, and the
Satellites,
other things
everything.
stopped. Yeah, everything stopped, and you back to I don't
Years in the
know.
past.
Yes, I lost years ago.
Before fire, let's say.
Yes, I don't talk more about the film. You need to watch,
But what's
and
the name
we
of the
talk
movie?
about.
I
What's the name?
forgot the name. I know it as well. It's the
Okay,
one with Julia
let me
Roberts,
take
right?
because I didn't remember.
New
Yeah,
one.
now we did the name. Yeah. Okay,
Yes,
I
let
will
me
watch
take
it.
here.
I'll watch it. That's cool. That's cool. So
Yeah,
we
let me
we
take.
come to the Iron Man perspective. We should have Ultron to
Yeah,
protect everything.
No,
leave the
I
world
agree with you.
behind.
It's a community. We're a global
Yeah.
community, right? We're all connected. We have internet now. It's not like the olden days. We're all connected. Our information is out there. I want to be secured, so I'm doing the best thing that I can, and I'm a good person. And just like I want to be secured, other people want to be secured. So I'll make sure that my product is secured. And I hope that other people would secure their product so I know that I'm covered. So I agree. We're a community. We're all human beings and we want to
Yeah.
be safe and secured.
Yeah, even in times, I mean, it's hard not to mention, but even in times of war, for example, I'm in Poland, right next to the Ukraine and this Russian stuff. Raz is in Israel with all this stuff happening. We are in Brazil, right next to, I mean, we are from
Yeah.
Brazil, right next to Venezuela and Guyana
Yeah.
with this new, whatever. So
Yeah.
even these things, because there are cyber attacks also, yeah, between these wars. It's not only missiles and bullets and this shit, but there are also this cyber stuff which is attacking critical infrastructure, supply, food supply, and all these things that will damage the country, that will damage the people and society itself. And so, when my perspective nowadays about security is exactly like this: what we protect, we are protecting ourselves. I'm using a smartwatch. My data is there somewhere, or I'm using an email service. Whatever is there, it's my life on it, either a bank account or whatever. So, Marcos, you have the name of the movie or not?
Yes, leave the world behind. Try
Let's
to
watch.
watch and
Let's watch.
talk about. It's a
Okay.
very, very good movie. Yeah.
But I will try. Let's see. Cool.
Okay, but now I have one question for you too.
Please.
Yes. In your opinion, what's the next step or next tools when application security guys need to study or to learn? Because in the past we have a IAST solution, and the world don't like too much, and it stopped the development. And what do you think is the future? What do you think is the new solution for we study?
Raz, you want to start with this?
No, you go, Casio. I want to hear what you.
I think we should study. How to turn off computers from the energy. Then we will be safe. No, I'm kidding. I think one important thing is like everything now is code. Even before it was application and infrastructure, it was very clear separated. Nowadays it's the opposite. It's everything code. I remember I was setting up fire rules by coding, or WAF rules by coding. So everything is code. So I think everybody, let's say on this industry, on this area, they should know coding, especially security people. A lot of us don't know how code works. Maybe 1-2 scripts or one hello world here or hello world there, but how actually code works, how logics work, and algorithms and these things. I think this is important thing, not only for driving whatever we need to do, automation, etc., blah blah blah, plus also how to fix these things, because if we know how it works, it's also easy to know how to protect or how to fix a problem, which is also a problem of the developers. They know how to code, but they don't know how some attacks happen. That's why we're talking about training. Like, okay, what is a SQL injection? What is a cross-site request forgery? How it happens? I can't understand. So once they know it, now I need to validate this parameter, string parameter here. Super easy to do a validation, but maybe before it was not there in his head that an attack could happen. So I would say this coding, code base, and so on would be the skill for every child in the school, apart from English.
I think that you're correct. The answer lies in code, but I think that we're moving to an era that is like filled with AI. So even the developers not always coding because they know how to code. They're using a lot of tools, a lot of AI to code.
Co-pilots and so on.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the open chat GPT. How do I write this and that function?
Black box and the others.
Yeah, so like we need to make sure that even if the developers are not like the best programmers because they now have AI, right? So it's gonna take off a little bit of the stress from them. Training on security, making sure that we have security tools implemented to help the developers and educate them on security. This is what's gonna be like the life-changing thing for us because they don't need to learn how to code, in my opinion. They need to learn how to protect the code they're using because it's not just AI. They copy and paste from Stack Overflow. We want to make sure that they know what they're doing in terms of security, right? Because we have tests. The test will tell them if they have something wrong with the logic, but they won't tell them if they have something wrong with security. So we need to be very careful with like the power that we're giving developers right now. We're giving them AI. We're giving them the full internet, like the mind. We need to make sure that we're not like over giving them power without also like controlling what we're doing.
Okay. Marcos,
Okay,
and you,
that's
what's your
good.
opinion? What's the skill you should learn? What's coming?
I have the both opinion because I think it's more in the AI. I think the AI is the future, and we need to talk about it. And need to study. NVIDIA says is stop the graphic area and it starts the new area is AI and starts to develop more and improve more research in this area. I think is the future is the AI and all the application security guys needs to study improve the knowledge inside this. I think is the future.
Okay. Just wrapping up now to go to an end. Yes, every nice journey has an end, so we need to finish. But I would put one last point here, which is I think that as you mentioned, you asked about tools as well, and I think this centralization or consolidation of security things, especially on the application side, is one gap now that JIT and other solutions they are trying to solve. Like I orchestrate everything to you. Yes, you need to scan your code, also your libraries, also your APIs running, also your cloud stuff, also your machines, blah blah blah, and just grows. Yeah? And the more power you have in one place, like you push one button and you fix all that, or you check all that, the best. Because otherwise, we are already overwhelmed with a lot of tools, SAST, SCA, DAST, IAST, AST, whatever, and it's already a pain in the ass to manage everything, to scan everything, false positives here, false positives there, blah blah blah. So I would say one thing coming, which is already here, but more coming, is this consolidation and orchestration of everything to make security life easier.
I completely agree with you. I think that right now there is a pain. Security teams need help. They're drowning, and the only way to help them is giving them one place to live in. Just like the developers needs to stay in GitHub, the security team needs to have one place to go to, help them with the duplications, one place to manage everything across all the product layers, and this would be the only way for us to keep surviving. If not, the attack vectors and the attack surfaces are going to continue to grow, and we cannot keep maintaining all those attack vectors and different tools separately. So yeah.
Cool. Marcus and Raz, thank you for the time. You want to send kisses to anybody, links, propaganda, whatever, feel free. Raz, maybe our guest first. Let's be polite, Marcus. Okay.
No, I want to
Ladies
thank
first,
you both.
please.
I want to thank you both. Thank you so much for having me. And for the people watching, listening, reach out, connect. Let's learn from each other. We're all a community. And check us out at jit.io. And yeah, to my friends and family in Israel, I'm sending all my love and support. And hopefully things will be better soon.
Cool. Marcos, any last messages?
Everybody, please share the video, comment, and subscribe. Please help us to continue this work.
We need to buy a Lamborghini. Please do that.
Yes,
For us.
I need my Lamborghini.
We need
please.
to reach. Yes, guys. Like as well. Cool. Guys, again, thank you, Raz, for joining us. Thank you for your time. Marcos, again,
Thank you very much, Raz.
for the support. This is the 5th season. We're just coming back every Wednesday. We try to have a new episode.
Yeah.
These guys also, they don't like to record, they don't like to work. I'm paying very good salary for them and they are not here. But let's see. Yeah. So every
Wait for
Wednesday,
the first salary yet.
every Wednesday you have a new episode on DevSecOps podcast. You can also you can check us on all the platforms: Spotify, Deezer, Amazon, YouTube, OnlyFans. No, OnlyFans is just a joke, but you can find us around there. Yes, please share, comment, and so on and so forth. Raz, again, thank you one more time. Marcos, again, thank you one more time. See you next week,
Bye.
guys.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much.
See you. Bye-bye.
That was DevSecOps, your cybersecurity and technology podcast. DevSecOps, finishing now.